Rise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. You know, things wouldn't be things if they didn't break. But here we are, we're back, and we're doodling, we're applying makeup, we're still getting ready for the show, but here we are. We're here with Blaze of Glory Hole 2 Cosmic Boogaloo. That being said, we are here with McLokin, Cherry Bomb, Sam the Wizened Fool, and as always, Johnny. Guys, this is an amazing show. I know I'm in a coma and I have no idea what happened last week, so please don't tell me. Spoilers, I'm still in a coma. That being said, if you guys want to support the show, please go check out our Patreon. If you guys want to join the conversation, check out our Discord. And if you guys want to support this wonderful, amazing cast who assure me that nothing bad happened at all last episode, check out that...
I didn't say that. I said nothing bad happened to us.
Right, nothing bad happened to them. Last episode. Check down in the bottom right-hand corner for the incorrect bar, but still works. If you fill that bar, Johnny gets to enact some kind of crazy madness, like putting your players in a coma, into the show. And the most important part is everything that goes into that bar goes back to these lovely players here at the end of the month. With that, we'll turn things over to Johnny for a brief recap.
Yeah, a brief. Previously on Blaze of Glory Holes. Injury, a new planet, but the way is blocked, and Switch has some explaining to do. As the Glory approaches the aerospace around the planet, it's blocked by a Corvette-class ship called the Anarchy in Iota. An old friend / rival of Switch's, a Xeno that goes by the name of Boris, sends a message that Switch might want to come aboard and discuss debts owed. While Switch and Sally make their way to the bridge of the ship, Levi attempts to hack all the things on that Corvette ship. As for Fitzy, he's passed out in a corner, drooling. Who knows what Levi has drawn on his face with a Sharpie. When Switch and Sally get to the bridge, they find Boris in charge of a large group of pirates loyal to Draxler's raiders. Boris lets Switch try to talk his way out of trouble, but then points out that the bounty has been placed on the Glory in the Breck system. It reads 500 credits, and that's a lot in game, folks, for info that leads to the capture of the Glory. Oh, and they want a piece of cargo known as the Cube. When Switch turns on the bullshit and tries to talk the Glory out of this situation, Boris just smiles and conveys that he's not going to kill the crew. But it's in this moment that things start to go wrong on the Anarchy. You see, Levi was a busy boy with Siri and hacked the environment control systems on the Anarchy. First, he made the reclamation system stop processing waste. Then he piped the smell all over the ship. But it's while hacking the Anarchy that he discovers the bounty and gets up to some real trouble. Not only does he switch the broadcast ID of the Glory to the Anarchy, he updates the bounty data to match the description of the Anarchy, now known as the Glory Hole, and sends that data across the Procyon system. Levi's efforts, however, have not gone unnoticed. An anonymous message lets Levi know that they know what he's doing. Back on the bridge, when things go to hell, Sally and Switch take Boris hostage and make their way back to the Glory. Once away from the ship formerly known as the Anarchy, the crew is able to contact Len. Len is the guy that put them on the job at the Praxium Institute. With the bounty out there, Len's also in trouble and can't meet them at the usual watering hole. So the crew is headed to meet at Club 37, a kids' entertainment complex on Indri. As the crew heads planetside, Fitzy is still knocked out, but not completely unconscious as we fade in. Fitzy, you feel asleep, but you're not really asleep. And you feel this sort of tap on your head, even though your eyes are closed, and you sort of feel like you're laying on the ground. Tap, 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 tap.
I feel a tap on my head. Okay.
Like this.
Like that. I open my eyes?
You appear to be laying on your side. It's really bright in here, but you see the face of a sort of a balding, sort of weird looking guy in really like plain sort of monkish robes, kind of looking at you. There's a little bit of sweat on his brow and his eyes are like looking at you and he's kind of tapping. As you're able to take in the surroundings around you, there aren't any real surroundings. The entire room, you're not really quite sure, but it looks like a room, is white. Are you awake?
Oh, for shite's sake! Turn the light out! It's so bright in here!
Listen, you passed out.
I passed out.
Am
I in the operating room? Sally! Is this the operating room? What have you done to me? You fucking... Where am I? Who are you? Oh, you're like an old man. What are you doing on the ship? You shouldn't be on the ship. We're in space. How did you get in here?
No, I don't think you understand. Your body's still passed out. I don't understand. This is up here. I had to tap here to kind of knock you awake.
You tapped on my head to knock me awake, and I'm still asleep. You're not... Sally! You're not making any sense.
Oh, Sally. And as he says that, you see an image of Sally sort of appear behind him.
Oh, great. Sally, what are we doing? Are we in the hospital here? Did I fall and hit me head on something, or what is all this bright light about?
It's just an image. It doesn't ever move or interact with you.
Hello? You shite doctor anyway. Who are you?
Hey, let me help you up. Come on, just stand up.
Don't touch me, you old man. I've got it. I have enough faculties or facilities either way. And he gets himself off the ground. Okay, now start talking. What are we doing here in this white room? Oh, have I died?
Oh no! It's nothing like that. I'm really sorry. There's nothing. It's...
Oh, for crying out loud!
See, the thing is, we really aren't. Well, yeah.
Just spit it out.
We're inside your head.
Oh. All right. Well, how do I get out?
I mean, it's your head. Do you really want to get out of it?
Yeah, kinda. It's clearly vastly empty in here. There's not a lot going on.
Well, I see. I had to protect you.
Fuck you, Sam. You had to protect me from what?
You see.
Just spit it out.
All right. Listen. I'm not really... How do I describe this? I'm not really here. We aren't really here. This is all inside your head, but you're passed out.
You're
so
a space ghost.
No. I had to isolate us so that you didn't go crazy right away.
Right away? There's a temporary crazy that's happening here? Space ghost?
No. You can call me Polly. My name's Polly.
No, I'm gonna call you a space ghost.
No. I'm Polly is about the best thing I can give you because didn't you grow up with a Polly when you were a kid? There's some like kid that you just really was like your best friend or whatever.
Sure, I don't know. I drank away most of my memories. That's why it's so empty in here.
No. There's a lot. And when he says that, for just a second, the entire room becomes less white. And it starts to like the walls become visible a little bit and diffuse. And all around you is sort of the chaos of all of this imagery. And you see memories that you haven't like retained like consciously, but are sort of floating there. And you see flashes of your past. And before it's able to like completely overwhelm you and you start to feel like you're physically going to pass out again, it all diffuses.
Oh.
Or sorry, it all goes back to being white.
That was like a movie. What was that about?
A movie.
It's like a video clip or like a space data.
I don't know that word. But I mean, yeah, humans. I don't get their anatomy anyways, and I don't get the way that their brains work. So that's the best that I can possibly do.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, so
I don't quite understand how space ghosts work either, but here we are.
Look, this is this
padded
just,
room,
this,
and you're a space ghost, and I'm unconscious, but I'm awake.
Just listen first. Just okay. Look. I'm sorry. Somehow, let me start from the beginning.
Okay, take your time. I have all day or night or infinitum. I don't know what time it is. Could I summon a clock?
He snaps his fingers, and behind him is a clock.
Oh! Shite! What else can I summon? Way out?
Sadly, the time doesn't make any sense to you.
Great.
It's measured in, in some way, and it's a language that you just can't even read.
Is it measured in parsecs?
Ooh. Brutal. Look. I can't. I'm only gonna be able to explain this to you bit by bit.
Okay.
But let me start with this.
Yeah, go on.
You're not crazy, at least not yet.
Okay.
You're gonna
I
feel
knew
like
that
you're
going
crazy
in.
because you're gonna hear my voice.
I'm hearing it now, and I'm feeling pretty crazy.
You're gonna see me a lot, but you're not crazy.
Okay.
It's not permanent. Second, this is important.
Okay, and the first one wasn't. Okay, go on.
You need to get me out of your head.
No shit.
No. I'm going to look. How much do you know about the Earth?
Little to none. I mean, I spent all my life studying their artifacts, so, whatever you can glean from that. But it's all, hypotheses and happenstance. No one actually knows what's the hell going on over there.
Well, sure. I mean, they have, they left me behind. They left a lot of us behind. There's a lot of us out here. I wasn't
A lot
the
of
only
space
one.
ghosts.
No. I'm not a ghost.
Can I collect a bunch of space ghosts together and power a space ghost ship or something?
Not a space ghost. Seriously.
Oh, no, okay.
I'm what you would call, I think the closest analogy that I can give you, and I know that I've been sifting through your brain trying to find ways to explain this.
Right.
This whole image, this whole name, calling me Polly, that's just so that you can understand what I'm saying and what's going on.
Okay.
But I am a piece of technology.
Oh, you're the doodads in the side of me head. You could have just led with that. I've had him there the whole time.
No. Those are just a simple tool.
You're a simple tool.
There's no need to be rude. Now, I'm a simple construct. I'm not a tool. I'm a construct. I'm a consciousness, but I'm not organic.
Oh, so you're an AI.
That's about the closest word that I would use, except that it doesn't really quite represent what I am. I'm not artificial. I just am not organic.
All right.
And I'm also in your head, though, because of this tool.
Sure.
Now, here's the thing.
Oh, there's more.
You need to get me out of your head.
Okay, for why?
Because otherwise, see, this construct that I am, this thing,
Yeah.
it got him because of your tool. And it's a good tool. Don't get me wrong. That's one of the better ones I've seen in a long time.
You're damn right I've got a good tool.
That's not what I meant, and you know it. Now, you need to get me out of your head and out of this tool.
Right.
Because otherwise, I'm going to, by the way that I was created, to bore my way into your brain, and eventually I'm just going to take over.
Oh,
Don't get me wrong. I think you're a really interesting human, but I'm not really interested. I just don't see you that way.
so you're gonna go deep in me and then take over my whole body?
Yeah.
I don't want that either. Get out of me head.
I can't. You picked me up, and you need to get me out of your head.
How did I pick you up?
Do you remember that certain moment when you were looking around and you saw all of those interesting things with your tool that you were have on your head?
Vaguely.
See,
Was I drunk?
No.
Are you sure?
You were in that place with all the boxes.
Yeah. No, I remember. And then I climbed on top of the mountain, and they took a fucking crane over there. And yeah, go on. I remember. I was there for that.
Okay, so when you use that tool, one of the things that it can do is it can scan and copy data. Well, it didn't copy me. It brought me into it basically downloaded me into the tool. And now the tool is helping rewrite your brain so that I can control you.
I'm possessed by a space ghost! This is the worst day ever! I'm sober and possessed by a space ghost, and I'm trapped inside my own head! Okay, make a door. Let me out of here.
Honestly, that's up to you. I'm just...
Yeah, no, I just said it. I said, you make a door, let me out. I said it. It's up to me. I'm leaving now.
Okay, but I have one more thing, and this is important.
Sake.
Look, this is gonna go much easier if we work together, because otherwise we're gonna start fighting, and I'm eventually going to win.
Well, that's rude.
That's just the way I was created.
I could take you in fisticuffs.
I'm sure you can, but can you take me at trivia?
I mean, probably. I went to college, or a university.
Look. Here's the
4 years in uni.
And there was much alcohol involved, if I remember correctly, and some drugs. So I'm not sure you really remember much of that. And he opens up a small window, and you can see experiences that you had at uni that did not go very well.
It's just the opening scene of Black Sheep, but it's Fitzy instead. Just passing out, taking a bong rip and passing out on the coffee table.
Jesus.
So here's the thing. I'm going to be around, you're going to hear me, and sometimes you're going to see me.
Okay.
I'm going to try to help you do this before you go completely nuts, and it becomes me taking control of you.
Yeah.
All right?
Okay.
I don't want to die either. I mean, I'm not organic, but I am finite. I can die. I don't want to die.
Sure.
So we're going to work together. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm going to call you Friday.
But Polly was the name that your brain chose. All right, Friday.
To be fair, I was unconscious when my brain chose that name, so I'm going to call you Friday.
All right. There's your door, and a door appears.
Great! This was easy.
When you go out, you're going to wake up.
Yeah.
I'd watch out for that guy, Levi. I looked through your eyes, and I think he was doing something with a Sharpie on your face.
That makes sense. I was past. Are my shoes on?
No.
Oh, then that's not even fair game at that point. You can only... If you pass out with your shoes off, then it means you're going to sleep. This is for... Okay. Friday, zip it. And I'm going towards the door to let myself out of my brain.
As you begin to wake up, we find the rest of the crew on the bridge of the Glory, making their way through Atmo into Indri.
Is he just like on the ground?
I'm wherever you guys left me.
He's in the engineering room, wherever the fuck I'm at right now.
I think like you wake up and Switch is just shaking you. It's
No! Why are you shaking me? Why is this happening?
Hey, wake up, you useless. I paid you. Hey.
When have you paid me?
I paid you at least once when we got paid.
Did you?
I absolutely did.
Oh, I have some space credits. We're fine.
Anyway, well, things got a little dicey.
No, things are fine. Don't
What do you
worry
mean?
about it.
I've only been asleep for like a few minutes. What happened?
Hold on. You've been asleep for more than a few minutes, eh?
More than a few minutes.
How long been on the job, I might add?
I don't know.
You've been
Listen.
pretending to sleep, haven't you?
Listen, I'm possessed by a space ghost.
No, you're not.
His name is Friday.
You're not possessed by a space ghost. You're working.
No, I'm not going to eat your damn candy, Sally. You came into my dream, and you were just as useless there. I was like, I'm unconscious, and I'm in a white hospital room, and there was no doctors around.
Hold the fuck on right now, because you will not talk to Sally like that. She was useful. She was the muscle. Because you, the muscle, you were asleep.
Listen,
She pulls out her gun and handles it poorly and points it generally in a direction, and he should be slightly afraid.
I've never seen her hold a gun in my life.
And now you have, and she did an excellent job while you were sleeping, I might add.
I don't believe any of this.
Look, it happened.
Good gun.
Jerry, Jesus Christ.
I'm really good at...
Wait, listen. Shut up, Levi. Is there a dick on my face?
No.
No.
I don't believe any of you. My shoes are off, Levi. This is a.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It's a thing.
Did I draw a dick on his face or did I write Space Virgin?
I thought it was space.
Yeah. It was,
Either way, I can't see. I'm just assuming it's a dick.
No, there's no dick on your face.
There is definitely not a dick on your face.
I really don't think this is the most important thing to be talking about right now, but they're not wrong. It's not a dick.
What is it on my face?
Look, you go get yourself cleaned up, and then I'll explain all about the bounty and about, the raiders, and it's fine. Look,
Wait,
you'll figure it out.
wait a minute.
We're going to be at the meeting point soon.
Meeting point? I don't care what happened while I was asleep. Where's the cube, and are we going to find that mysterious jump gate?
We're getting rid of the cube.
What?
We got it. We're getting rid of the cube. We're getting paid.
All right.
Wait, you got to fill in the other blank there, is that we got the information from the cube, so we can get rid of it.
I know I got
We're
it.
getting rid of the cube.
No, but I have it also in this data pad, so if something happens to you, we're fine.
Great.
Thank you, Steve, for
I think everyone needs to keep their eyes on the prize, and that's not getting locked up in an imperial prison.
Oh, no, we're
Have
fine.
you been to an imperial prison? It's not a nice place.
No,
I don't
but-
remember. Friday, have I been to an imperial prison?
who's Friday?
I'm possessed by a space ghost. I tried to mention that earlier, but
You're not possessed by a space ghost.
okay. Well, I was
Sally's gonna
unconscious.
Get out her scanner thing and
I'm
put
sure
it
you-
directly on his forehead.
A
Is this
lot
gonna-
of
is this-
times.
Is this going to be coast to coast? We're going to fucking worry about the space
Yes,
ghost all the time?
every time from here to there. Thank you for somebody making that reference.
I've been waiting for it.
I really okay. Like we're fine. We're gonna go get rid of the cube. Hooray! And we'll just go from there.
I swear to God, I'm getting a headache. I'm taking us in. I'm taking us.
Hey,
I
listen,
thought we landed
listen,
already.
For serious though, I know it sounds ridiculous, but I am possessed by a space ghost.
I
Wait
swear
for
to
it!
God.
Wait for it, Switch. Hold on a minute. This, and he pulls his hair back. This is our technology. Both of these, in my head, are our technology. It's what allows me to see all the weird shite that I see, which is why I'm so valuable to the mystics, which is why I said, go fuck yourself, and I left, because they wanted to use me for my special eyes.
Okay.
That being said, when I was looking for the cube in the warehouse, I was possessed by a space ghost, and he said, which is the more important parts, that he can possess me and take over, which is why I took a nap, and also, if I don't get him out of my head, then I'm going to die. So, just for shits and giggles, gotta get the space ghost out of my head.
Wait, wait, really quick.
Yeah,
Really quickly.
sure.
Can I hack your brain?
I
mean,
also have
Sally
a
just
follow-up
stares
question.
at Joe and is very excited.
I don't
help?
think any of the technology we have on this specific glory hole is going to be enough.
I learned a lot from hacking the cube. I know how to get the little things in there. There's going to be lots of wires and popples.
And I got drugs.
And
So
she
I-
got drugs.
I can tell
Maybe.
that I'm starting to lose the crowd here, and that we're going to end up going on the Space Ghost mission. I can see that that's already where we're going, but can we please get rid of the cube and at least try to avoid the bounty a little bit while we do the Space Ghost thing?
How long do you have? Do you have 15 minutes before this thing possesses you, or do we have a month?
Oh, I don't know. It just told me that if I don't get it out, it's going to bore into my brain and kill me.
So can I go party and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I gotta
Come
go
back?
wash this shit off my face, whatever it is there.
There's nothing on your face. Let's just go.
You're perfect.
Levi,
I
before
was-
you party, before I
Well,
look, I want to party too.
Well, first,
We're getting rid of the goddamn cube.
okay. We also need to be very careful because if any of the Dresden Raiders, or is that what they're called, the Draxel Raiders?
Draxlers.
The Raider people. If any of them show up, they might be upset. I don't know how upset. I don't know if they know what I did.
If that happens, you better be awake. She points at Fizzy.
What the shite happened while I don't... You know what? Never mind. Point me in the direction of things to punch. I'm going to go wash my face.
All
She
right.
points at his face.
Yeah. Swear to gods. Anyway, he just marches off to find the bathroom.
Oh man.
It says virgin! Space virgin! You shite!
Ollie just shuts the door
I'm gonna
behind
punch
her.
you in your fucking robot!
Are we at Club 37 or are we a little ways out still here, Johnny?
Oh, so I think that's the end of the scene, and we'll cut to some downtime stuff, because as the end of last episode, the whole adventure on the anarchy in Iota is essentially ended up being like a job. So we're going to do some downtime. We did payoff, we did heat, we did entanglements, and now we're going to do the downtime stuff, which means that all of you get to do some lovely and fun long-term things, or take care of your stress, or any other little thing that you'd like to do. On top of that, I believe Sally, because she was absent during the second episode, she's got 4 downtime actions to do. And good old Fitzy is going to get his own downtime actions as well, even though he had nothing absolutely to do with that particular, shenanigan at all. Like he missed out. So,
What?
all right, guys. So where do we want to start first? Who would like to start with some downtime actions?
Good.
Well, before any downtime action, like Levi is gonna go hawk the cube into it with Len. I believe it's Len.
Okay, so the way the downtime is going to work is that these things aren't necessarily in sort of like sync with the way that normal time is going to work. It's just a matter of kind of clearing the mechanic of you getting some stuff long term done. If you actually want to hold off until that interaction happens, if the entire group is willing to do that, I'm happy to do that as well.
Yeah, I'm down to do that first.
Okay. And that means so part of this is Switch's downtime actions from the last score actually didn't occur until you guys landed on Indri, because it mostly involved him being planet side for stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll just kind of queue those up as well. All right. So if we're all in agreement of doing that, then let's go ahead and we're going to move on to the next scene as the Indri is making its landing very close to the Club 37 entertainment complex at one of the spaceports. Now, somebody tell me about Club 37. It's a kids' entertainment complex. What does that mean? In space,
Blitz
on a
and
planet.
Chits.
What?
It's Blitz and Chits.
Oh my God! It's Blitz and Chits.
It's Blitz and Chits from Rick and Morty.
Roy!
We're gonna go play some Roy.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I imagine there's definitely like space laser tag, probably like a 0G laser tag.
Yeah, like in what's that? It's Ender's Game. Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. There's probably like a whole like VR thing, like one of those, in Star Trek, how they have like the hollow. The Star Trek Next Generation episode where he's like, there's the guy who's like obsessed with the holovids and he like duels people and shit. I imagine there's all kinds of like that kind of like you can like pretend to be a pirate or like pretend to be like a space person.
Yeah.
So there's holodecks, and then there's space laser tag, and
But it's a dome. It's a dome, right? So the Club 37 is a or as much of a dome as you can make, right? And it's like transparent, so you can see space outside of it, and spiraling around the dome is a racetrack.
Oh, nice.
Okay. What kind of racing is it? Is it tracked racing? Is it vehicles that can fly
now
through?
we're pod racing.
Oh no, we're pod. Oh, okay, pod racing.
Oh no, we're pod racing.
Okay.
Let's see how many references we can get in this episode.
All right. So is there a specific sort of age range for this? Is it like is it a situation where there's like a themed character?
I feel like it's gonna be
ages 8 to 88.
Yeah. 8
It's
to
a what?
88.
Ages 8 to 88.
Okay.
8 to what?
to 88. You know how like board games will always they'll do that? It'll be like ages like 1 to 100.
Yes.
Like 2 arbitrary.
What's the name of this place? I was not paying attention.
Club 37.
Club 37. Okay.
You named this place last time.
It was 2 weeks ago. I don't remember.
He was also passed out.
It was the jokes.
For the person in chat who asks if this is more Disney World or Jersey Boardwalk.
Oh, it's definitely
the latter.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just-
I was picturing Jersey Board. Yeah,
I'm thinking that there's a little bit of like kids theme, like Disney kind of a feel, or even a Chuck E. Cheese kind of a feel. However, it's definitely more, sleazy as a boardwalk kind of a situation.
It's low end. It's not like the high tier theme park.
I would like to think the mascot is a bat dog, right? It is a dog and a bat combined together, and he is called Rufles.
Rufles?
Yes,
Is that with a G or an R at the beginning?
R.
Okay, so Rufles. I thought you said Groofles for a second. I'm like, what the fuck is a Groofle? But okay.
It could be Groofles, but Rufles sounds so much more adorable.
Roofs.
Okay. All right. So you are, you're kind of walking through this area of the world city that is known as Indri, and you're making your way through, and you're coming towards the entrance, and off to one side is sort of this animatronic, thing as you're making your way towards the entrance of this like dome thing of Rufles, the bat dog. What is Rufles like catchphrase saying, or what is extra special about Rufles the bat dog?
Winners don't suck.
That's so amazing.
I feel like this guy has been taking lessons from Ricky Bobby's dad.
It's true. Winners don't suck. That's a fact.
Winners don't suck. Yeah.
Imagine Rufles in the voice of Trendane saying "Rufles or winners don't suck" kind of a thing.
No, it's gonna be like some like winners don't suck.
All right, so and as he
You're a loser, sucker.
this thing is like all like sort of animated and standing on its hind legs. It's anthropomorphic bat dog kind of a thing with the big flat wings, and they're kind of flapping, and you can feel a little bit of gust. And when it flaps its wings, a little bit of like the urine and other kinds of like excretions that comes from like various xenos kind of wafts towards you, and kind of greets each of you. It kind of walks in and just kind of like leans in a little bit, like it's giant size, and kind of leans in and says welcome, and kind of all that stuff. But as you pass inside, of course, you enter in the classic arcade setting that is sort of like the entrance sort of foyer of the area. Now, Levi, Len has suggested that you guys meet here. What is where would you find Len in this particular place? It's got holodecks, it's got food locations, it's got the pod racing track, it's got the it's got a space laser tag, it's got all kinds of stuff. Where would we find Len?
The pod racing track. Because I think a lot of more adults
Betting on kids. He's gambling on the kids.
Yeah.
All right, so you get past this entry sort of foyer area with the classic arcade games. You kind of you find your way in, and it kind of opens up into this large dome area, and there's various sections that you can go to in different ways. But there's this sort of towering piece at the center that is like the location where you go to the observation deck to watch the various pod races. It's the only location in the area that is exclusively for adults, where you can go and drink and stuff. And so as you make your way towards that, you can hear the various noises and sounds, and you can see various human and xeno kids just kind of running around doing their things. And as you're making your way up the elevator, of course, it all kind of just like you're going up hundreds of stories, and you're able to have a quiet moment before getting to this bar scene where you're going to meet Len. What's the conversation like in there, in the elevator?
Switch is smoking a cigarette in the elevator.
Yeah, Levi is too. Levi's just like...
Switch is just like, Why does he always want to meet here? I hate it here. They say winners don't suck. I say this place sucks.
It's inconspicuous, right? Who's expecting like a deal to go down here? But this is like plan D of a meeting place, because the fact that apparently 500. I'll just say 500.
Yeah.
500.
The funny thing about that is, I thought, Boris. I actually do owe Boris money. I mean, don't tell him I said that, but I thought he was just fucking around. Yeah, I thought it was just it was.
You think he's dead?
Oh, he's not dead. He'll be back.
It didn't look like he was doing too well. And then Sally gave him the purple candy and was like, "Take this or shit yourself." And then,
I mean, look, he'll be back around. And worst comes to worst, it's one less person we owe for the ship. So
they're probably going to wait for us to come out of orbit. You realize that, right?
Oh yeah, like I said, I'm like almost positive we're going to see them again. But we bought some time.
If we leave soon enough.
I have a question.
Yeah. What's up?
Was I passed out for like a month? Because you seem to have pissed off a lot of people for what seems like a very short amount of time.
Oh, we did not catch you up yet. All right. Long story short, is anyone else other than us? She did shoot a guy.
I mean, look, I could keep you up to date on all the people in the sector that do and do not like, myself and Levi. Over the years, we've had a few.
No, I don't care about what happened before.
Not a long elevator ride.
What happened between me passing out and right now? It seems like a lot has packed into a very short amount of time.
It really was only like fucking 30 minutes, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I thought it would be, like 30 minutes. It didn't seem like a lot of time passed, but you're saying a lot of different people hate you. Now, specifically.
All right, so. We may or may not have taken out a loan from some dangerous people to get the ship, and they showed back up, and I thought they were trying to shake us down.
Yeah.
And apparently someone was really not happy that we got that cube.
Okay.
Hold on, let me show you the visual, and then like on my pad I bring up the new warrant that I made, and I was like, that was for us until I changed some things around.
And then Levi went without the signal, and he pulled the old the wet bandits routine. I don't know if you're familiar with the wet bandits routine. It's kind of a classic move.
It's a Dutch oven code with a tsunami protocol, yes.
Yeah, of course.
And then that's when things went wacky. But I tell you what, I was not 100% sure what I was going to do, and then Sally really came through. Sally came through. She shot that guy with whatever the hell she had, and then Boris was a lot more amenable to me taking him hostage and us leaving his ship.
Sally, between you and I, were your eyes closed? Yeah, no, that's what I thought.
Wait,
that's all right.
Wait,
No, don't worry about it, Captain. It's between her and I. Anyway, you said, I'm a bit curious about one part of the... How did they know we got the cube?
Well, the bounty.
Yes.
How was there a bounty on us?
Do you not know how to read?
How did we get a bounty on us, Levi?
I imagine the elevator doors have been open and we've just been arguing this whole time.
So an old lady's waiting to get in. We're not even on our floor yet.
Ma'am, excuse me, we're having a personal conversation.
This is a lady. Oh, I'll punch you right in the mouth.
I'd throw some candy at her and shut the door.
Levi, I was told that your hacking skills were great, and you did all the hacking on whatever the hell book learning planet we were on. So
well, look, I was told that you were quite a scrapper, but you were sleeping.
I'm also quite a napper. Scrapper and napper. That's what they call me. More importantly, how did we get a bounty if your hacking skills were so good? Did you fuck up?
If you remember, they saw our ship, right, when we were leaving.
Yep.
They had our registry.
Why didn't you switch the plates?
Oh, I already did that.
So how did they know it was us?
Well, look, it's only been a couple days, right? And we switched everything.
30 minutes.
And then, no, this is from before,
Oh, okay.
right?
Right.
This is my understanding.
Sure.
And Johnny, correct me if I'm wrong in any of this. So when we left, they got her registry, and they probably tracked us all the way to the gate.
Yeah.
And they knew what kind of ship we had and what kind of model.
Sally,
Doesn't
stop
matter if I
playing with
changed the plates, right? Because they put that information displayed, and they put, hey, they have this cube. We want this cube for, and they have a bounty of 500 creds. Now,
Sure.
Boris was upset because he's a known criminal,
Yeah.
and he was like, oh, I'm a deadly space pirate, and I only have a 250 cred limit or whatever bounty. Yeah, and he was a little. His pride was a little bit.
So you
hurt
got bounty envy.
He got bounty envy, and we really haven't done shit.
I mean, look, it's not the first time somebody's been jealous of my large bounty.
Anyways,
And
so
I still had way cooler stuff than you. She leans in and whispers. He was like better than you in every way. She says that part louder.
Look, Sally.
well, they had a team of hackers, and they couldn't really keep up with me. So that's you have a Levi they can send out.
You know, I like a credit as much as the next guy, but if the school wanted to keep the artifact hidden, and the guy we want to sell it to right now wants the artifact, and Space Pirate wants the artifact, why does
he
everyone...
didn't want the artifact.
Oh,
I
okay.
actually don't know what he wanted because his ship filled with shit. The shite exploded.
All right.
Out of the toilets.
So it's just the two people that want the artifact then. The school.
Well, I'd actually don't.
Look, I'm sure that Boris would have killed us and taken everything valuable that we had, but I mean,
that's true. But Len just wanted. Len was hired by someone else to go contract someone else who is us to go get the artifact, and here we are.
And now, can we
I'm
please?
caught up.
All right.
Bing.
I'm glad everyone is happy now. Yeah, the lady's just like tapping her foot.
But if you don't notice this, I changed the whole bounty. I went into the system and brought it up to and spread that around to the other system like a virus. So now they're after the ship that's full of shite. And yeah,
Not going to be good for anybody. There's a lot of poo involved.
there was a lot of those dreadnought class ships have a lot of shite in them. A lot of shit.
Okay, you know what? I just want to have this on the record here. Sally, if you accidentally shoot me in the arse, if you accidentally shoot me anywhere, I'm spacing all your drugs. Right out the airlock.
Why no?
I want to make a point. Sally, if you accidentally shoot Fitzy in the ass, make sure it's with a maybe an amphetamine or some kind of upper and not a sedative. He's already been napping, no sedatives. Make sure it's like gives him some
Straight up
pop
adrenaline.
the next time.
She leans in. It's going to make him poop himself.
I can hear you. We're in a 5-foot cube of elevator.
There's I imagine there's an old lady just still sitting there going, oh.
Have a nice day, ma'am.
Before you step off the elevator, as the old lady begins to descend, the long descent down, somebody described to me Ruffles' hideout, the adult-only bar, the only place adults only are allowed to go in all of the entertainment complex known as Club 37.
Well, as soon as you walk in, there is a long rectangular picture of Ruffles, and he's like posted like this.
Yeah,
and he has a very seductive look on his face, like this is a forbidden area.
Is Ruffles anatomically correct at this particular point? Is this the kind of anthropomorphic kind of a situation that
you see the cape drips over because he has a cape on?
Anatomically erect.
You know what I imagine is I imagine that this place is like the bar lounge version of the office that like half-assedly tried to like make a gym office and then like gave up a month later. So there's like, instead of there being like one dumbbell and like a broken like exercycle machine, it's just like one like half full bottle of like some like shitty liquor and like a couple of like stale pops.
And so like we're in the and we're going to the and there's like a couple different sections, like we're looking for Ruffles betting house, or bedding dog house.
Oh, I think you meant like with a D, bedding. And I was like, oh wow,
No,
where's this
bedding
going?
house. Betting house. No, there's a dance club called the Red Rocket Club.
Yeah, and in the Red Rocket Club, there's a 3-lek on every table just to avoid copyrights.
Yeah. And
that one got Sam.
And as you and I imagine, and like it's like that. It kind of like it comes out, and there's like a lounge area where people can mingle. Then they can go dance, or they can go gamble, or they can do like virtual reality, like whatever fucking shit. Where it's like I don't even know. Someone else named that because I can't come up with anything. But yeah, that's what I think of it.
All right. So as you kind of make your way through into the bar, and it's sparsely, you know, and all of those things that you've just described, you make your way toward what you would expect Len to be, which is seated at a table close to a window, since he does have a gambling habit, and wants to bet on everything he possibly can, including children's pod races that are happening. And you can see that he's like looking out a window and kind of looking down on the part of the track that you can see, and actually as you're kind of looking out and seeing it as well, you can see that like there's the sort of the starting line and the finish line kind of a thing, and you can see that there are pods, you know, just kind of blazing, aside, and as you're kind of watching, you see one kind of go careening off, and it kind of just falls, very far towards the ground and kind of explodes, and you see this little like thing pop up just at the last second before it hits, and you realize it's an escape sort of situation, and there's like a parachute kind of like navigating it towards the ground. Pod racing apparently is a very dangerous affair, even for kids. And as you kind of walk up, he hears you kind of coming, and Lynn kind of turns. Levi, tell me what Lynn looks like.
Len is an older gentleman, has a white beard. He has kind of a similar hairstyle I have, like it's long on the top and short on the sides, and it's very white, kind of like it looks kind of like military a little bit. And he's got like a tank top on with like suspenders, and very much he's just like smoking a cigar, and he's just like ripping up a ticket because he just lost the bet, and he's like fucking kids, and that's what you walk into. Very dark-skinned, very tanned.
Okay, and as I'm actually going to ask you at some point where he gets that tan on this planet where there's like toxic, clouds and atmosphere.
Tanning booths exist. Okay, some people don't like to be pasty ass fucking white. Not like any of us, because we're all pasty ass white and don't go to tanning booths.
Fair enough. And he kind of turns. He's like, "Oh, Levi.
Oh, hey there.
Who are these two?"
Oh, that's Fitzy, and this is our muscle, Sally.
They're new.
Fucking.
You gotta stop waving that thing around. We're gonna get in fucking trouble.
Sorry.
This is a kids establishment.
We're in the adult section, but she was just waving that around in the kids section.
Who even gave that to her?
I did. So
were you high when you made
I'm
it?
still high.
Fitzy, we have company.
She puts her finger over it.
We have company.
Any
Len?
friend of Levi knows that Levi's high.
I meant that. Len, this is like he said. He introduced them. They're new. We're still trying him out.
One's a space virgin, the other's a doctor.
Oh,
we got your thing. Do you want to hear? Do you want a dead drop, or what do we got?
We're just having a casual conversation, and we're just talking, blah blah blah. And you just don't say business stuff out loud. What is this your first fucking rodeo?
Look,
she elbows all of them at once.
Hello, Len.
why don't you slide into the booth, gentlemen? We're just kind of standing out here in the open, looking
I
very obvious.
sat down. I already sat down.
Fantastic.
I'm sitting next to Len having a conversation, and then there's a bag that is just kind of sliding across under the table next to him.
Len kind of looks at you, and you feel it stop as he puts his leg sort of like in the way. And he's like, "Oh, ho, 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 ho.
What?
What the hell happened?"
Which part?
I don't know. The one that created a bounty and then got me on the radar of a whole ton of people as well. What?
Why are you on the radar? You weren't there.
Because somehow some jackass knows that I'm involved and gave you the job.
But that had nothing to do with us. We didn't give any names.
I didn't say you gave any names. I said that some jackass somehow knows and indicates that I'm connected to you. That
Which jackass?
Some jackass named Stev.
Oh, wait, who's that?
I don't know a Stev.
Some gambler of ill repute. I don't know. Some says.
It's like you're reading that description off a piece of paper.
I mean, it's just I received this message said you can thank Levi for this, and then the authorities showed up. 51st Legion. What the hell? I mean, it wasn't even like the local guys. It was the hegemonic presence in the area.
Wait, are they here now?
This time Switch looks at Levi pointedly. He's like, I thought we got away clean. That was not Levi. That was not Levi. What?
No.
Levi?
No, okay, look, there's nothing tying us to you. All right. Who's Steb? Wait, do you guys know a Steb? And I look at Sally and Fitzy.
I don't.
No.
Siri beeps at you angrily.
What? Why are you beeping? Beep, 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 beep. What? Are you just gonna keep fucking? Are you doing Morse code now? Is this a fucking thing? Like, oh, you can't tell it to fucking hold on.
Look, your little relationship with your bot or whatever the hell that thing is.
As
ahead.
I'm having this conversation, I just want to say I'm writing down, like, if it's Morse code, I'm like writing it down, like.
Okay. So Len looks at you like, look, it was a clean connection. The messaging, all the stuff, the usual protocols. Levi, you and I have done this before, right? Yes. Switch. I'm still trying to understand what the hell happened, how this guy Steph knew what the hell was going on, knew where you were, knew how to connect me, and then called the First Legion on that bounty when it showed up.
Here's where I'm at, Len. I've got this device. I went through a hell of a lot of trouble to get this device. Now you're going to take this device and you're going to give me the money that you agreed to pay us for this device. And then we're going to get the fuck out of here.
You think
That's
I have...
how it's going to be.
You think I have your money? Wow. So it would have been great had I been able to stay in my lovely, sort of establishment and had my, accounts, even the ones that are secret, not frozen. But I don't know who the hell the two of you pissed off. And your two new friends, I don't know what they brought into it.
You are saying you don't know who we pissed off? You gave us the goddamn job, Len.
I told you to go to the Praxium Institute. I told you to pick this thing up, and I told you to bring it back to me. I did not tell you to actually create something that encouraged the Counters Guild and the Night Speakers to get together, two organizations that don't really belong together, to get together and throw a collective bounty on your asses.
What else do you think they want? I don't know what this cube is. He doesn't. Wait, you think this drunkard here with the punchy fists knows what it is? Do you think she knows what it is, or Levi knows
I damn well look.
Know what it is. It's your goddamn device.
I know Levi better than you do. I've known him longer. I know for a fact that he's already plugged in and tried to figure that little thing out.
Yes, and he fucking failed. And it had nothing to do with these people coming after us. What I know is that they want their goddamn device back. And you paid us to fucking steal it. You didn't pay us to protect it after the damn fact. Now, let's settle this easy. I do not want to have to kill somebody in a children's play place.
You're going to threaten me.
Wait, okay, well,
On my planet, you're going to threaten me.
That wasn't a threat, Len. That was a setting of the expectations of what's going to happen if you don't fucking pay me.
Convince him.
Awesome.
am I learning anything from this Morse code, or is it not Morse code?
Yes, it is Morse code. And I will message you privately what it is, and you can say whether you want to say it to everybody else or not. So give me a second. Go ahead. So talk to me, Switch. What is this like?
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like command, probably not sway, unfortunately.
There's a lot of intimidation going on here.
Which is not something that I'm that good at. Let me see here.
Johnny, for no reason at all, just morbid curiosity, does Len look armored at all?
No, he's dressed as Levi described him, in a very casual sort of get-up, but he doesn't look worried.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't have any dice in command, but I would like to push myself for a die, and then we'll see how that goes. What's my position here? It doesn't sound like this guy's particularly phased. I was hoping for controlled, but it sounds like it may be risky because this guy's kind of seems a little bit harder to intimidate than I maybe bargained for up front.
That is a very good assessment.
Yeah. And then what's the effect look like?
Well, so let's talk
I mean,
about
there
that.
are 4 of us. Like,
and you guys just walked into a room and didn't really assess the situation that's around.
That's also a good point. That's also something that did happen.
I did not. Levi purposely did not, because Len is his friend. So,
look, Switch didn't expect things to go this south. He's in a bad mood. He's, almost been killed a lot of times over this damn cube and just wants to get rid of it.
Okay.
So that sounds to me very almost like a limited kind of a situation.
I mean, I don't know. I think whether it's standard or limited would depend more on how easily intimidated Len is, and how much he just wants to not basically the question. I guess the question is what Len wants to get out of this, right? If Len genuinely still wants the cube, then I think there's a case to be made that there's room for Switch to basically convince him that this is just it's less work to just give us the money and to just have it be done with. But if this guy's over the cube because this has turned into such a big mess, then I mean I could see it being very limited, because he's probably just trying to get information and then tell us to fuck off.
Well, I mean, the thing is he doesn't want it. He was hired to get it.
He is the third party. He's the third party contacts, or he is the contact that was hired you through for a third party to make things happen.
So maybe I'll add this to make it fit better. So maybe he'll be maybe Switch will be look, it's been a rough couple of days. I know that you need to get this cube off to somebody important. I just want to get rid of it. Just give us the money. Let's end it here.
All right, so we'll call that standard.
Cool.
Can I also assist? And this is how I want to do it, because he mentioned his accounts being frozen. I want to hack his accounts and do some stuff.
Okay.
Specifically, before I want you to do your role first, but I also want to do that, and I can do that after. But that's what I'm kind of currently doing.
So if you're assisting him, I think what we can call that, if you're assisting him in that kind of a way, I think what we can call that is you assessing the situation before you actually take any action to get a real handle on it, so that you can give him the sort of the support and give Switch the support and feedback to be able to sort of convince that,
Yeah, wrap it together into this role as a helping die.
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
because how I kind of want this to play out is that you're talking and all that kind of stuff, and Levi's hacking, and then like you get a message on your thing showing his accounts. Like basically, what I want to do is take his locked accounts, unlock them, transfer the funds to an untraceable account that is in Len's name, and then send that information over to Switch, where Switch can slide over like a phone and be like, also, by the way, here are your accounts. You just
The way you're helping me is like on the successful roll, I'm able to be like, hey, and also, by the way, you're all good on the money front. Like, let's get this taken care of.
Okay, let's see how that goes. So that's an assist die. So Levi's going to take 2 stress for that.
Oh, 1 stress for helping, 2 stress for yourself.
Right, so 1 stress for helping. Okay, so he's going to take that. Now, are you going to push yourself or take a devil's bargain, Switch?
I said I was going to push myself. So
okay, you're going to push yourself. You're going to take the 2 stress. This isn't a situation where you're in the middle of a job, so I'm not sure a gambit really applies here. Besides, if you fail, there's a number of story elements that really kind of come into play for this. So
good. Well, we'll see how that goes. 5's good. 5's pretty good.
5 is good. So he looks at you, looks at Levi, looks at Sally, doesn't even really glance at Fitzy.
Poor Fitzy.
And he looks back at Switch and he says, all right, here's the deal. Because of all of this, and whoever this Stev guy is, you did me a service by doing this job. It was a hard job. I already had the delivery service available to make it all happen. You know, the whole this was a whole separate deal, isolation of work, all of that stuff. But this guy Stev really messed with my shit. It's not just my money. Thanks for that. By the way, Levi, I appreciate that. I'm gonna need you guys to take on the delivery of this to the third party at this point. I don't like doing this, but this guy Stev has basically ruined all of my contacts, and I don't have anybody else to do delivery. In fact, I'll be completely honest. I didn't even expect you guys to actually get here. I'm really surprised to see you. I know you got problems with money, Switch. I know that with this bounty on your head, you're quite an attractive target for just about everybody in the sector.
Okay, well, I would just like to add real quickly, we don't actually have a bounty on our head anymore. That was taken care of.
See, Len, Levi, I know you're good, man. You're really good.
But look, and then I bring up the bounty.
Look, it'll get back to us eventually. I think Len's right. Look, we bought ourselves some time. You've been a good friend to Levi and therefore myself for a long time. Things almost got heated. They didn't need to get heated. We'll take on this delivery. But here's what I'll ask is when this is all done, you will get the contact for this guy who's given us all this trouble. We'll take care of him.
I need to get really high so I can remember who Stev is.
We got to take care of Stev. After this is all done, we're getting rid of Stev.
Sally pulls out a pouch and just hands it to Levi and looks away.
All right, listen. So, look, here's the deal. Take the cube back with you. Secure it on your ship. I got some connections still at the port. I can give you guys 48 hours to stay locked down. Nobody's going to know who's here, what's going on. You got 48 hours to kind of sort yourself out. You know, go on a bender, do whatever. But then you got to make delivery because this isn't about money for me. This is about me paying a debt that I owe. All right? And look, I don't like mentioning names,
Len.
but I really you guys are gonna have to go and deliver this to my contact.
Who's your contact?
He doesn't really tell me his name. He just sends me messages. What I can tell you though is I think House Malkath is involved.
Really? All right.
Okay.
Look,
This is serious business.
Johnny,
it's
what do
a
we know
debt
about
that
House
I owe.
Malkath?
So yeah, it's serious business, Switch.
Okay, but real quickly, if the Draxor Raiders come here and you're upset, who never saw us?
You must have been running into Boris, eh, Switch? Is that what Levi's talking about?
I don't know who you're talking about. Never met this Boris in my life.
Switch, look, man, I know Levi. When Levi and you got together, I checked into you. I know your background. I understand your rep. I don't judge. I just got to do the due diligence, all right? I'm a businessman here.
We can take care of the Raiders. We have before.
Well, I'm just
Will
saying,
again.
if they come here, just they may not be happy.
Look, and if the 51st stopped by looking for you, I mean, we never saw you either. Don't worry. We're settled that way.
Look, I'll hire you later to settle all of this. I'm going to go into hiding as well for now. Then the person that you know is going to disappear. I'm going to become this guy named Abel for a couple of weeks. Let's see what happens after that, and then I'll contact you. Maybe Levi can hack my way back into everything else.
Your brother Kane.
Of course, Levi. You're welcome to.
Okay.
All right.
That's a piece of trouble.
Well, I wish it could have been better circumstances, but I'm glad we got this worked out.
All right, 48 hours, and after that 48 hours is done, check the messages on your ship. There'll be a message from my contact where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to do next.
We'll take care of it. That's what we do.
Man, I hope so, because once this is done and Levi is able to recover my identity back for me and make things good again, we'll go after this guy Stev together. I got some resources.
That's all I ask.
Len, I've been pretty quiet the entire time here, and it's mostly because I just woke up from what I'm assuming is like a several-day-long nap. And I didn't get to punch anyone when there was a lot of punching to go around. So I have one question for you, if you might indulge me. Is that all right? Since you didn't actually pay us, and now you're asking us for a favor.
Well, he transferred the money.
Oh, okay. Well, then since you're asking us for a new favor, I have one question, if that's okay.
He looks at Switch and Levi like as if he should take this guy seriously, and then looks back at Fitzy.
I'm waiting to hear him out right now.
Switch gives one of those like, yeah, he's okay.
Now, the cube, do you know anything about the person who was having us go get that for him?
Well, he just did. Were you not?
No,
paying?
he said he knew a contact, and the contact might work for House Malakath. Is that the only details you have about the person who requested the cube, or do you have more? I'm pretty sure a broker like yourself likely has more. And I mean, I feel like I could have Switch here talk it out of you, or I could punch it out of you, or Sally could
Why is everyone jumping to threats? This is my friend.
or she could wave her pistol around at you.
He looks at Fitzy and he says, "Really?" And he points past you. And as you kind of turn around and look, there are a number of blasters pointed at from various directions from various patrons at the bar in your direction.
Time for this shit. What the fuck?
Fitzy puts his hands above the table and he cracks his knuckles and his eyes and hands glow. And he goes, no, really. I haven't had any chance to punch anyone. It's just a friendly question for you. I don't want to punch you. You seem like a relatively nice guy. And, I think I'd punch Levi before I'd hit you. But, and his stupid robot.
When he passed out,
Space
I wrote Space Virgin on his head, and I thought it was hilarious. I still actually think it's hilarious.
You see Lynn crack a smile just a little bit. And then he says, All right. Answer me a question first.
Sure.
And then I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Why? Why do you need to know?
Do I want to know? I'd like to know who's looking for this. It seems like a very important little bit of rock here, besides the fact that it's, an artifact and all that. Despite the fact that, I am one of those, and he, pulls out his, religious artifact, and he's like, besides the fact that I'm one of those, and they'd probably pay a pretty penny for it as well, and, that wouldn't clear your debt at all. But, I'm willing to look a blind eye in this whole religious situation. I just want to know who wants it more than the various orders. And why?
He touches a pad, a thing on his data pad that's on the table, and like a holographic display kind of pops up, and he says, if you look at this and you see the bounty, and for the first time, you really get to see all of the information from the bounty, whatever Levi told you and everything else, right? You see that it's a ship that does not look like anything like the Glory. That's titled the Blaze of Glory, or sorry, the Glory Hole, and it's a Dreadnought's class ship, and it's just kind of floating there, and you see text about it that says 500 credits for information leading to the capture of the Glory Hole, and it talks about the cube and everything else, and you see that at the bottom it says posted by the Counters Guild and the Night Speakers, and he points to that and he says, so in addition to who my contact is, this should give you a little bit of an idea who actually wants this. The answer actually is, excuse me, everybody who matters or has a big sort of investment in Ur technology or the knowledge about the Ur. Everybody wants it. Now, for House Malclef, specifically, I can't tell you names.
Oh, no,
but I have created contacts inside of there, and one of them I owe a debt to. They want this just as much as everybody else because they want control of the jump gates. That's what everybody wants. Right? If you control the gates, you control everything that happens in this sector and every other sector that's a part of this galaxy.
Sure. What would make you think that this has anything to do with the jump gates, this cube here?
Because anybody who wants to, that's got any side on power, wants to, hegemonic control, or wants to manipulate the way that commerce, or any of the government, any economic, all of it. If you control the jump gates, you control the way that people think and do things and move, and the way that money works, and the way that resources works. You have ultimate control. There's no single place in the sector, let alone the galaxy, that is completely independent now. They're all tied together. They all need each other.
Right. Well, thank you for being so candid with me and answering my question. That was it. Have a great day. And he starts to.
Are you done with question time?
I'm for sure done. No, I get everything I need to get.
I'm glad. All right. Well, let's go work now, maybe.
Yeah. No, let's go do that.
No. Get fucked up.
No, Switch. Go have a good time. Chill. Come down. It's gonna take. It's a 48-hour turnaround time every time something happens. And I have to contact this contact. So look, go enjoy yourself. Take a little bit of time. The 51st on this planet. They're currently distracted looking for me, and that little thing that Levi did may have got them off your back. And like I said, I can give you 48 hours while I make this happen. So go enjoy yourself.
All right. Well, we'll go enjoy it. But he was sleeping during the job. It's fine. All right. We'll go.
He starts tapping on his data pad, and he kind of looks up. Oh, you're still here? I have other business. Levi, can you get them out of here?
Levi's gone already. He ate a bunch of candy. He was losing concentration during that whole conversation when Fitzy was asking questions and they were talking about everything being one, and he's like, I want to go get laid, and then he fucking got up and just kind of left. He also didn't take the cube with him, so
I'll secure the cube.
And I will probably follow Levi because I'm curious to see what these trucks do to him.
Switch, what are your plans here for the next 2 days?
Well, I gotta meet a man about a horse, and I got some friends to meet to go get some drinks a little later at a rather fancy establishment. I'm pretty excited about that, actually. Going to see a race. And then, probably meet some other friends.
There are horses in Club 37.
That was a euphemism, an expression. I'm gonna get some business done.
Gotcha. You mind if I bend your ear for a minute? That's another euphemism. I'm not literally bending it.
Yeah. Walk with me and talk with me. We gotta get this
that's fine. Great. That's the best place to talk about is the ship where it's private and no one can hear it.
Starts heading. Yeah, they're heading back to the ship with the cube.
All right, so we're gonna do a swing, scene cutter transition, very very space opera Star Warsy kind of a thing. And we're gonna float into downtime. All right, so it sounds like there's a conversation that needs to happen between Switch and Fitzy. Is that something that needs to happen sort of like before downtime, or should that be like something that happens in free play after we get through downtime?
Either or.
All right, so I'm going to leave that up to you. If you when we get to either Switch or Fitzy's sort of downturn times, if that conversation needs to happen, then we'll just kind of jump into it.
Question: so basically, it sounds like that Sally's studying Levi. Is this like both of our downtimes are kind of like intermingling? She's just getting me fucked up on drugs, like indulging vices, and then she's like studying what's happening to me.
It could be.
It could be if that's the way you guys want to work it out. It can be completely independent of that. It could just be sort of like a free play sort of like action kind of a situation that just is like a narrative description, or it can have a mechanical effect. Entirely up to the two of you.
I am down. I'm down for this indulging my vice. I don't know what Cherry wants to do.
Probably study. Normally she would probably join and do stuff too, but she's very curious about him trying to recall information by being high. That's something she would want to study.
Okay, so that sounds like is that going to be like you training like as a downtime action, or is that something that is this an element of indulging your vice kind of a thing?
For Sally, I feel like this is indulging her Doctor Strange shit.
So that would definitely be indulging your vice. Okay. So then, so let's do this. Let's do this way. Let's have both of you indulge your vice if that's what's going on for both of you. Like each of you will take a downtime action like that, and we'll do a downtime roll. And so I think because Sally is studying Levi, I think Levi should go first. And if he overindulges, then oh boy, there's fun for Sally to study.
Oh god.
So am I getting a bonus dice? Why did they ask me that question?
It's just because that's the way the mechanic works for the way that dice.
Oh, okay. The dice system works. Okay, so let's do it. 4. I did not overindulge.
Fantastic. All right, so Levi, talk to us a little about the experience of indulging your vice, and I guess you're doing drugs, right?
I'm drinking and fucking.
Okay. I am not studying that.
Okay. No, it'd probably be like you would like. This is how I think it would work. Is that he's like doing drugs and like doing all this kind of stuff and like trying to recall things, and then like you would be like at the bar and like giving drugs to other people secretly and like selling them on the download to see how they get affected. And then like he would go off and then come back, because I imagine we're at a brothel of some sort, and like just kind of like a red light district where we're just kind of like going fucking ham for like 6 hours or something like that. And then it's just kind of like he would take the purple one and then go do a bunch of stuff and then come back and be like, oh, what happened? I fucking did that one, and then I saw like Spot's flights and all that one, and blah blah blah, and then like she would combine two and like give them to me, and I'd be like, I'm fucking high, and like and all that kind of stuff. And then it would
feel Fitzy sitting at the end of the bar, just judging the shit out of us.
getting super angry. And then
slightly drunk, but just judging the shit out of
it's just his normal face.
And then he would walk by someone like totally hitting on someone, and they're having a very in-depth conversation. And he would go and he would notice that like the one of the couples like pulls out something, and it's like a communication pad or something, and they look at it. And it's like my boo or boo with like hearts. And I was like, that doesn't look like it. And there's like a picture of the person. I was like, that doesn't look like your boo there. And then like that, he remembers. He's like sitting there and all of a sudden he just stops staring at the person. And he then looks at Sally and he's like, I think I remember who I fucking pissed off. Other than the dude I just pissed off. I think I remember who Stab is. And then I was like, we probably need to get back to the ship.
And at this point, Sally would probably run up, use her gun, trank the guy he actually pissed off, preventing Fitzy from yet another fight, and then drag Levi off to the ship.
All right,
wait,
so with that,
does the significant other try to make a sound or something?
No.
Okay.
She's relieved, or it's relieved, or whatever. Yeah, it's relieved.
It's a tentacle woman.
It's a 3-leg.
So this Xeno is like completely relieved as she, kind of moves back and grabs for her drink or whatever.
Anytime, remember the name Levi. Bye.
All right, Sally. I think it's time for you to make your indulge your vice there.
It's at the top below the player information.
Yeah, just under Vice Purveyor and just above
like
the traumas.
Click it. It doesn't like look necessarily like a clicky thing.
Like it's like where you see stress and like the player like
Trauma, indulge vice. I found it. Okay,
Yeah.
bonus dice. We're not worrying about.
No bonus.
No bonus dice.
Oh, nice.
Perfect.
Very nice. Very, very
That
nice.
could have gone bad. If you go over, that's bad. But that was good.
Yeah, so indulging, I'm very curious about what would happen when her Doctor Strange moments happen and she overindulges. But I can't wait till we get to that. So, so Sally, talk a little bit more about the other side of what just happened for Levi and you studying him and kind of like paying attention to all of the wonderful and interesting effects of indulging your vice.
I feel like I would have just slightly figured out and could work on improving a drug that helped you remember things.
Ooh, I like that.
Based on watching things, so and possibly even depending on Levi, maybe even start on the path to a truth serum type deal because of how that would interconnect and finding information in people.
Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Okay, so okay. All right, so that works out, and both of you are you're dragging Levi back to the ship at this particular point. Now, who would like to continue doing their downtime actions? Do we want to go with Levi or do we want to go with Sally? Because each of you Levi has one more free downtime action, and Sally has 3 more because she didn't do it during the last downtime.
Let's do. All I want to do for mine is lay low. So help the heat get down on us. Wait, we don't have a lot of heat, do we?
Let me look. I think we actually do have a decent amount.
But it was spread out between sections.
Between the 2 sections, right? So there's in Iota there is 4 heat.
4 heat in Iota and 4 in Brick. I mean, 4 is not insignificant amount of heat.
Okay,
no, it's not.
I'm gonna lay low then, and that basically means.
Yeah, because it's like 4 out of 8.
Yeah,
great.
One more job going like loud, and we're at war or whatever.
Your wanted level increases to 1.
Yeah, I want to do that, but I don't know what I need to do.
186 Lay low. If you want to reduce your crew's heat and wanted level in a system, start by hiding in another system. Okay, so we can't do that right now.
Oh, we can't do that right now?
Because we gotta be in an... Oh, wait, you could do the Breck system.
You could do the Brecht one, so because you guys are currently in IOTA.
Yeah, let's work on Brecht then, just in case we have to go back there.
Okay, so you say what your character does to reduce heat while hiding and roll an appropriate action. Give some examples. Reduce heat in the system by 2 if you are wanted. Add segments to the wanted reduction clock. According to your roll, 1 to 3, 1, 4 to 5, 2, 6, 3, critical 5. If wanted reduction clock fails, reduce your wanted level in that system by 1 and clear the clock. So we reduce heat by 2 as long as you succeed your roll.
I would say what he would do is he would make false signals in Holt, or false spottings in Holt of that's where they were. I really hope we don't have to go to Holt now, but because that's the farthest system that I can see being away from Breck, and you have to jump 2 systems to get over there. And so that's what he would do. And so any information about the glory hole in Breck, they would say that the bounty, the ship, has been seen in the Holt area. And that way, they would think that the ship is far away and they're not near Breck, and they're going to be less likely to look in Breck. Do I have to roll a d6 now?
You do, but what specifically is that going to be? Is that a hack?
Yes.
Okay, so then you're going to roll You're going to roll your hack as a way to determine this.
Okay, let us roll hack. Is this risky? I think this is controlled.
So this is a downtime action controlled, or so the position and effect aren't really sort of because it's downtime. You have a lot more control over the situation, and you can really have more control over the actual effect itself. So we don't actually roll with either of those. It's just a straight roll based on your skill.
Okay, no bonus dice. 661.
Wow, that's a crit. That is a fantastic thing because you have 4 and a crit reduces your heat by 5. So essentially you clearly heat and Brecht. All over the system of Holt, you report not only, and this builds on the hack that you did for the Anarchy and Iota, right? So this builds on the fact that not only is the Anarchy's like ship description kind of like tied to, the name Glory Hole right now. But the fact that in an effort to get away from the Breck system, they ran all the way to Holt, and that Draxler's Raiders are currently being implicated in the possible theft and, acquisition of the cube at the Praxium Institute. And so now there is complete misdirection, and the wanted level has increased for Draxler's Raiders in Breck.
They're gonna end up being like a recurring nemesis. We just keep like pitting shit at them.
Well, so okay, I'll talk about the mechanical effect that this does have. This is going to start a clock on
one of our invisible clocks.
It's one of those. Yes, this is one of those invisible clocks where that this is going to take the faction status to possibly war between the crew and Draxler's Raiders.
Good.
So,
Good.
FYI.
Good.
So, congratulations.
Are they going to become my fucking nemesis on my like little sheet now? I have to add the Draxler Raiders because they're like I filled their ship full of shit, and now I'm up their wanted level in the Holt section.
Yep. All right. Cool. So that's awesome. Do you want to spend an additional coin to take another downtime action, Levi?
No.
Awesome. Next up, Sally, do you want to take your downtime actions, or you want to pass it on to somebody else?
I figured she would send out a shipment of drugs that she was probably working on in between testing herp derp.
Okay, and so what is a shipment? How does a shipment of drugs fit into a downtime action?
It's just something she produces when she's not doing something for the current ship that she's on.
Okay, but so is this lead towards you crafting something? Does this lead towards like you acquiring an asset, or is this a long-term project?
Crafting something.
Okay. This really kind of the way that I read crafting, it really is focused on rig or hacking, but this seems like more of a God, what is the skill set for
medicine? Right?
Medicine.
Isn't that what it's called, or is it called something else?
It's
called
believe it's doctor, right?
I have doctor and study. Yeah.
I could see.
Okay, so we're gonna either or, whichever one you feel like you want to roll for this, and then based on that roll, we can talk about what the result actually means. This is an unconventional way of kind of using the craft thing. So,
Okay.
so go ahead and roll. Why don't you go ahead and click on a doctor or study, whichever one you prefer, and we'll go with that. We'll see how this craft roll goes.
Go with doctor controlled, and then what effect do you think?
It doesn't matter. Not in a downtime action. You have the time to kind of do your thing.
No bonus dice. 1 and a 3.
Okay.
282 is the extended crafting rules, by the way.
So, wow, this is essentially basically the way it kind of rolls out is that a 1 to 3, what you're trying to do is you craft an item at your tier level, or better, and the crew's or the ship's tier level right now I believe is still 0. Is that correct, Switch?
Yep.
Okay, so at 0. You either want to increase or it's not really kind of working out for you. So you got a 1 to 3, which means like it's a -1 to whatever the quality is of the drugs. So you just produce some really shitty drugs.
That's fair. I'm very distracted.
But you have a bunch of downtime actions. So if you want to if that's all you want to do, you can just do that 2 more times and get 3 batches of drugs.
Right, you could perfect the process essentially and make it better and better. So whatever the net effect of this. So if you wanted to use those other 2 downtime actions, like Sam's suggestion, you're welcome to do that.
So just roll 2 times.
Yeah, you can always do other things with your downtime action, but if that's what you want to do, like
right. So other things that you can do is like train. Look at the training one. You can actually gain some XP in one of your attributes, and that allows you to advance and get better sort of elements of your or better parts of your skill or your individual actions.
Okay, I had a 5 and a 2 on the next one.
Okay, 5 and a 2. So you produce a slightly better quality of drugs, right? So now they're at least a good street value, but they're not like amazing quality kind of a thing.
All right, so the first batch I'd probably just leave for
Levi.
For Levi. Sorry.
Nice.
I accept this.
It's fair. And then a 5 and the 1 on the last one.
Wow. Okay. So you continue to produce decent drugs that are not great, but with 2 decent batches, you kind of sort through and you're able to put together some a really good offering of the drugs. So what is the tangible value to this as a result? Does it acquire you? Or does it give you, is there money? Is there something else that comes from this? Because this is an unconventional use. So what do you get in response to making these decent drugs?
Money and more what's the word I'm looking for? Clout with the Ashari cult.
With the Ashari cult.
Yes, that's who I'm sending it off to.
Okay. Well, all right then.
So maybe like a good way to represent what you get out of this. This is kind of like combining a little bit the acquire an asset and the crafting is maybe this gives you a free flashback where you can get a help out from the Ashari cult is at some point if during a score you want to the Ashari cult might have been able to help me on this. You won't have to spend stress to flashback. Does that seem reasonable, Johnny?
That seems incredibly reasonable. So whatever it is that the Ashari cult does for you, or the trade or the benefit of it, yeah, this is definitely a free flashback. It's a great idea. So at any moment during a job, whatever scene is happening, shit's going down, whatever you need, they're going to be able to provide whatever support that makes sense according to the sort of the way that the story is going. So just kind of note that somewhere, because otherwise a stress, a flashback can cost you about 2 stress and can get pretty pricey pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I'll put it in my notes.
Just, that's your, I remembered that I have my blank moments, which is nice. Cool.
All right, so that takes care of Sally's downtime actions. Fitzy, Switch, what do you guys want to do?
Fitzy, you want to go first, or do you want to try to do that scene? I mean, we're running low on time. We could see how that scene goes and then go from there.
My downtime's super quick. I'm gonna train
that.
playbook, and I'm gonna start a long-term project, which is called My Girl Friday, and it's how I get Friday out of my head.
Good.
You've been setting this up since the beginning.
Yeah, you're goddamn right I have. You're goddamn right I have.
So the My Girl Friday project is going to be complicated, which is a 6 position clock. Only six because, and here comes the fun part, it's going to be a multiple clock sort of progression.
Sure.
All right. You should see it on screen now. My Girl Friday.
I don't.
You don't? I thought I brought you guys over.
Nope. I see Decipher the Artifact. Oh, yeah, My Girl Friday. I see it now. There it is.
All right. So, My Girl Friday. There you go. Now, how are you going to start this?
I'm going to pray the ghost away.
You're going What?
Yeah, I'm going to attune and try to figure out how to separate his way energy from my way energy. I assume he has a distinct signal, and I have a distinct signal, and I need to pull them apart.
Okay. Attune.
Okay.
Space magic.
Yeah, right? Space magic.
Space magic is exactly it.
Do I want to buff this roll in any way?
Well, the only thing that you have available to you is pushing yourself or taking a devil's bargain. If you can find a way to argue that in some way Sally is able to actually help you, then I'm also curious to hear that, and maybe that's an assist that'll come into play.
I think Levi is able to help me, but not yet. I have an idea for Levi, but
okay.
Melanie would hook you up to machines.
Yeah.
So
no.
I want a Johnny Mnemonic hack your brain.
I know. Let me figure this out first, and then we'll do the pokey bits. How do gambits work out of like action play?
They don't actually work out of jobs normally. I think there was one case where we decided that there was capable of a gambit during the last session, but that's also because we were falling into basically what was started out as a social situation and ended up being a job.
Okay. I was curious.
So,
I have an ability that uses a gambit, so I was wondering how they work.
What's the ability?
Anytime I spend stress, I can spend a gambit instead. It's called the way. You can spend a gambit instead of paying any stress costs. So yeah, I will stress myself out. Is what I'll do. What is that? 1 stress for a push or 2? What is it? How much? I forget
2.
How many. 2. Click. And I'll give myself 1 bonus dice. A 6.
All right, so that's going to be 3 steps on the clock. So, tell me how Fitzy prays.
At the bottom of a bottle. So yeah, he gets good and rocked, and then he really he activates his artifact, right? So he gets good and sauced, and then he's basically trying to separate the energy patterns because he can see how the way works and interacts with things, right? So he's trying to isolate his energy pattern, right? His way aura, and Friday's way aura, and sort of separate the two of them so that, like, at will, he can at least see the two of them. His end goal, as a relatively smart boy, is he understands that Friday is in him, and he needs to get him out of him, but he needs a new container. So being able to fully pull those two things apart is step one to take him and put him in something else, which is where Levi and Sally might come into play. So yeah, he's focusing on being able to separate the two.
So as you begin this process, vaguely you see, or you think you see, or you think you hear Friday. Like it's like you hear like a catchphrase or a sentence of something, and then it kind of goes away. When you activate your device after getting good and like liquored up, Friday appears in front of you. What are you doing?
I'm trying to get you out of my head.
But why liquor?
Oh, because it dulls the rest of the senses.
You do realize that this thing that you call the way, I mean, this is, I guess, the phrase that you know the humans use. Like, you know, it's a silly concept, really. There's a lot of astrophysics and some other, you know, metaphysical elements to this.
Okay.
Like,
sure.
When you want to get down to this sort of like religious thing that you keep talking about this way,
I don't.
The liquor's that's not going to help.
It does when you're very sensitive to the way, and it dulls my senses so I can tolerate fucking with it. Too much all at once and I'll pass out again.
Your human body can't tolerate this amount of liquor and the way, because you see, and he points, and behind him there's like this shadowy thing. You see that?
Yeah.
That's outside of you, but once inside too.
Right, but you see, the human body can't take this much of the way energy normally, which is why I have these. So I'm not prepared for all this kind of fuckery, so I drink to dull it down for me.
But there are things out there in this sort of thing that you call the wave that are also going to find their way inside of you, and they don't have nice sort of like personalities, and they don't tell you and are nice to you and be like, listen, I like you, but I don't like you that way, and I'm not really interested in being a part of you, and I want to get separated, kind of a thing. These are the kind of things that come in and like consume you, like they eat you from top to bottom.
Sure, well then you fight them if they get in. Because they eat you too. Because you're in my head and there's no getting out.
No, it's not. It doesn't work that way.
If I die, what happens to you?
I get your body.
Even if my brain's eaten out by Space Ghost number 2.
No. What do you call the thing that inhabits your body? What is the energy that the way uses to move things? Right? What is the concept? I've been trying to dig through your brain, but I'm still trying to get through all the drunk spots.
That's
like
most of it.
He gives you a no shit look. What is it that's going on in there? What is it? Oh, I see. There's like a word here. It's called spirit. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm a meat puppet powered by stardust.
So that stardust, that's what these things want. Even the were still working towards figuring it out when they left me.
Great, so I have the space ghost in my head and the space demons just waiting to eat my stardust. This is just...
Look. Before you pass out again, because so this thing right here, as much as you like, it helps you like manage what you call the way, and it also gives me some insight into your body. And he starts to pull up like this thing, and he's like, and he goes like this, and it's like this big sheet of paper, but on this sheet of paper is all this information about your body. This is your blood pressure. This is your heart rate. This is the measure over time of what the damage that you're doing to your body by drinking all of this. All of this tells me that when you do this, you're damaging your ability to be able to do this. And he separates sort of himself a little bit from you, in a sort of a demonstrated sort of like distance fashion. Now, if you want to be able to do this, you have to not do the go this.
I'm pretty sure the cumulative hangover will kill me either way.
I have a question. Can Levi be sitting here and watching half this conversation the whole
Absolutely.
time? I'm super fucked up just watching everything go down.
Oh my god.
Do you want to see Friday?
Time out for just a second in that respect. Does Levi have anything that represents precursor or what's been referred to as technology?
Other than what he did with it, he has a tune.
Is there any element of Syria that is actually based?
Yeah.
All right. Is there any other way that Siri actually communicates with Levi that is not like audio communication?
I mean, she could send him messages and stuff like that, and like he can like see through her vision.
So you get a message from Siri as you're kind of watching this, and you're going, and you can see that Siri's actually paying attention. You're watching all this, and you get a message.
Like Siri like looks at it and it goes down. I was like, "What the fuck are you looking at?"
And so Siri,
Like
Siri kind of turns back to you and says, "Check your phone." And you bring up your like phone into display, and you see through Siri's vision, and there's something there, like having an active conversation. You can't actually understand because Siri's not able to translate yet what's going on, like completely. But you can see that Siri's observing this conversation as it's happening, and you can see that like there's like a little dialogue. She's like trying to process the information, and so it's kind of loading, like all as this is going on. But you can actually see that there is some sort of presence and entity there. Interesting thing about it, though, you also notice that there's something a little bit off about the way that Siri's representing this data. As if there's like an additional line of code sort of running down to the side, and it is representative of like information, like they're like written language. And that's new and unusual. It's different than the last time that you actually looked through Siri's like perception of things.
Okay. I'm gonna start scanning that data really quick.
Well, you can do that after we finish this and get through the other.
I'm super high, but I just want to get on the comms and be like, "Hey, you guys, Space Virgin's talking to himself, but I can see a ghost. There's a space ghost in his head. I'm really fucking high."
Yeah.
At this point, Sally would come in and just plop next to him and like start taking.
Like watch it like we're watching a show on our TV show, and we all of a sudden there's like candy drug. He's just eating it, watching it as this conversation goes on.
This popcorn
And so, like-
isn't drugs. It's no popcorn.
As I was saying, the cumulative hangover would just kill me. There's no way I could just cold turkey.
No, it's not about cold turkey. Look, I understand that. I'm willing to help you out. But when we actually do this, when we actually get to the point, look, for me to be the most effective that I possibly can be helping you kind of do this whole split thing, ultimately, I need you sober, buddy.
How sober are we talking? Like all the way? Or just like 3 cartridges?
Yeah, it's going to be all the way sober.
Fuck.
I'm gonna have to make some weird ass drug.
I don't know if I can be totally sober.
Wait, why is he going sober?
Okay, so, alright, well,
Saddest story ever told.
I'm gonna have to... listen, you know what? I'm gonna get back to you. It might be worth you boring through my brain.
Here's the other thing.
Oh, there's always another shoe.
I really appreciate that you're making an effort and trying it. I honestly didn't expect you to actually believe me. I'm really glad. Here's the other thing. So along with being sober, we're going to need to get you to a place with some technology. Like,
Oh, is it rehab?
no. That word keeps coming up in your head as like something you fear.
Yeah, no, I don't want to go back.
Hold on. And he kind of goes like this and kind of, oh yeah, they were not very nice to you there.
No.
I mean, look.
There was the
Is this
probing and the...
No, it wasn't. We're not doing a rehab thing.
Great.
what we are going to do is get you to some place where there's more than just what's in your head that can help process and figure this out. Because I personally have never had this happen to me. I mean, I had this friend, he starts rattling off this sort of weird sort of name.
I'm gonna drink again.
Look, we need to get you someplace where we both can access a larger, what I would say, computer. Like, that's a word that keeps coming in your head about this technology stuff, is a larger machine or computer that you can, like, we need to process this.
I get it.
And just find us a place where we can.
You don't have that. Like coordinates or anything like that, or you just floating space ghost?
Look, I was stuck in a warehouse where there was a bunch of this stuff that I could have used, but you took us out of there, and there was all the running, and then there was this silly thing that you did in the way that you keep referring to as the Pilgrim's Path. And man, that was silly. I don't know where you got that name. It's whatever.
I made it up.
Yeah, it's a bad name. Let's move on.
It's a great name. You know what? You're a shit. And he like unscrews the cap and pours another glass. Take that. You shit. What are you doing here?
No, you fucking tell him. You tell that space ghost.
Oh, now you believe me.
Oh no, look. And then I show him the feed that I'm watching.
Yeah, his name is Friday. You fucking loon. Then he shoots back the whiskey.
I just see a fucking weird object making quotation marks all the time.
Yeah, no.
So this weird object on screen kind of shakes its head, and it disappears from Sirius display as well as Friday just kind of vanishes from Fitzy's view.
I think Switch just hears the shouting in the cantina as we go to his downtime.
All right, so as a part of all of this for Switch, just real quick, we'll just say that he's got two things going on, a few things going on already that have happened, going to the clubs and making the contact for the asset. Real quickly, are your downtime actions quick, or is it something like there's a little bit more setup involved?
Well, so one, I wanted to just do stress, so we can roll the two like clearing stress events together with indulging the vice. So I'll just indulge in saying it's like the same event. And we'll see how that goes real quick. So 1d6. All right, that's a 5. That clears all my stress, and I do not overindulge.
Congratulations. So as a part of that, going to do the racing thing and going to the clubs and all of that, right? So that sort of montage of all that experience happens.
Yes.
All right. So what is the second downtime action?
The second one I wanted to do was just I had an idea for a long-term project, but I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm just gonna train resolve, and I think that's like probably just like I think what that looks like is like Switch going and like buying supplies for the ship, and he's just like bartering and haggling with people, and that's like just like him training his talkiness.
Okay. So, right on. All right, so all this crazy sort of madhouse like sort of downtime action starts to kind of come, the culmination. The clock of 48 hours is really taking down towards that last hour. Levi wakes up from another one of his sort of like drunken sort of drug-induced stupors inside of a brothel, and the devices, all the data devices are kind of warning you that the last hour is coming in that 48-hour period of time that Lynn indicated. And that's the alarm that you've set for yourself as you sort of indicated that you want to get back to the ship and be available when that communication sort of comes in. But it's as you're kind of doing that, and you're kind of walking out in that sort of like haze through the sort of the smoky area of the room, when a woman catches your eye and just kind of smiles at you and kind of goes,
"Do I recognize this woman?"
You don't.
Okay. I will go up to her and be like, "Hello."
Well, hello there. Are you, by chance, having a little trouble, friend?
No. I'm gonna look around real quick.
Why don't you join me over here? Let's go have a seat. I think we might have words that might be beneficial to both of us.
Well, can you walk and talk? Because I really got somewhere to go.
Your friend Len will send you your message. It'll be okay.
Wait, Len's sending a message.
Yes.
Okay. Well, okay.
I mean, that was him you were sitting with at Club 37, right?
Well, maybe. Who are you?
My name's Darla. That's not my real name. You can try to figure it out later. That won't be important. But you can call me Darla.
Okay, you want to be anonymous. That's fine. I know. You probably saw me talking to Len, and you're like, look at that handsome blue-haired man. And I was like, oh, here I am. I mean, I have a little bit. We can work something.
Sweetie, you're not Xeno, so you're not my type.
Oh, do you like the tentacle ones, or do you like the horny ones?
It involves limbs that are not tentacles, but I didn't come to discuss my own personal proclivities. Oh no,
I'm not judging.
Look, do you have the 5 minutes? The message is going to be there if you're late.
Okay. I think I could spare 5 minutes.
So she escorts you into what it looks to be sort of like a booth that's kind of like a private area, and she pulls back a screen essentially as you kind of sit down in the booth, and she's like, I understand you're having a little bit of trouble from your past.
Am I? Oh no, I was. Yes, that is something that could be happening.
I mean. The name Stev keeps coming up every time I look around.
I think what happened is that he was on his phone talking to a lady, and I was like, "Oh, that's your girl." Wait, no, that wasn't it. I think I need Sally's memory drug. Wait, it was something to do with cards.
I don't know the details. I just know that on top of everything else. And she pushes a thing on the table that kind of brings up sort of display. I do know that this is you, and as you kind of look at the display as what comes up, it's the wanted bounty information, and it's a recording of the bounty information going from the glory hole as described as the actual ship to the glory hole as described as what became the anarchy or what is the anarchy in Iota, and all the description. Right, all the details, just kind of like changing. She's like, I know this is you. And she's like, yes, no.
I mean, I can't, I don't know who you are, ma'am. What if you're the police coming to bust me down and you're like, hey, we know it was you, busted asshole.
I also know, and she punches something else on the data screen, and she's like, it transitions, and it's a picture of you and Switch standing over a terminal in a certain warehouse as you're hacking the security system. I also know that this is you too, right?
Are you Siri in human form?
Oh,
I'm not whatever it is that you call that pet robot of yours. And you hear Siri kind of bitching at you a little bit about all they pet robots.
No, you're not a pet robot. You're just an asshole. Okay.
No. I don't represent the authorities, because if I did, or if I worked for, say, the Counters Guild or the Night Speakers, who are clearly listed on your bounty, they're gonna, I would be, taking you in. I don't even represent who you're going to be working for next, which if I remember hearing in the conversation correctly, and she punches something up and you see a video of the conversation you had with Len, and he says, House Melketh. I don't work for them either.
Mm-hmm.
I do, however, represent someone or a group of someones who would like more information about that circumstance.
I am listening.
Listen, you did amazing on Nightfall. The Proxim Institute hacked the security system there. that represents some of the best tech that money can buy. And when I talk about money, I'm talking about the Counters Guild and their investment in keeping all of that sort of safe and secure and hidden. You kind of jumped around and did a bunch of stuff.
Yes.
I represent meat space hacking. I represent the social situation, which it seems like the four of you, and don't get me wrong, you all are really good at your jobs, but the four of you, you know, are still kind of lacking in. I mean, I caught some of the vid of what was going on that Anarchy and Iota ship between Switch and that oaf known as Boris.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for that, by the way. Your hack into their system actually allowed us to get in and actually see that video as well. That was pretty good.
Oh, you got through the what is it, the Wrath of the Leviathan. That's the program.
Right, exactly. Well, so you opened up all of that. I did all that. I got us into that. Thank you. So and by we, if you haven't figured it out already, I could spell it out for you, but we want you to help us learn a little bit more about your next contact, your next employer. We want to know more about House Malcleth.
Okay.
So can we talk business?
I mean, I love business. Like, what are we talking about?
We're talking about you and your little crew working for the Starless Veil. Is that okay?
I mean, who's the Starless Veil? Do I know who they are?
They're one of the factions of the book.
They're one of the factions that represent counterintelligence for the hegemony.
Ooh.
Basically, these guys are like trying to undermine the specific noble who's in charge of, like Malkath is the noble who's in charge of this section of systems, and these guys are like undermining him.
I know. Here's the thing. I already know how Levi would respond. It's like, I don't fucking care who you are. How much?
It's going to be worth a lot. But first, we're going to help you with that Stev guy.
Okay, are we going to kill him?
Well, that's actually going to be up to you.
Well, are we taking care of it right now?
No. We'll meet again when you go to the Cove, which is where you're going to meet your contact for House Malkath.
You already know so much.
You have no idea.
So what happens if I hack into you guys?
No, you're not going to need to do that. Just remember, Darla, Starless Veil, and I'll see you on Cove, okay?
Wait, hold on. Let me put this in my data pad that I have over here.
And as you start reaching for your data pad, she's like, no records. And as she touches another button, your data pad completely clears and wipes. Now,
my porn.
Look, next up, I'll have to take care of Siri if you don't.
Oh, no, she'll lose her personality. It's really growing on me. That fucking bitch.
Your phone starts to beep. The messages come in from Len.
Okay, what's it say?
You're to go to the Cove and meet with a particular contact at a particular location. And you need to do it within 72 hours.
And it's 73 hours away.
No, it's closer than that.
Okay.
And she kind of looks at you and she says, "Do we have a deal?" And that's where we're going to end it.
Nice. Fantastic. Solid cliffhanger. That being said, let's go around, do our introductions quick and get the hell out of here. We'll start with Cherry Bomb. Who are you? Where can we find you? And what are you up to?
I'm Cherry Bomb. I will be doing a lot of GTA RP this week, some tarot stuff, doing like actual just tarot streams, and probably a couch stream sometime this weekend. So
nice. Hell yeah. Go follow her at, is it Cherry Bomb Gaming on Twitter?
Cherry Bomb 7 on Twitter. Cherry
7.
Bomb. on fucking somebody had it already.
Watch out now. 7. Let's go over to Sam. Who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to, man?
I am Sam, twitch.tv/wizenfool, Twitter at thewizenfool, wisefool on Discord, and I am only really here again until the end of the month. Don't have a lot going on, and then kicking off, I believe the 8th of September. We're finally getting to this Game of Thrones thing. We created houses last night. It's really exciting. I'm gonna be backstabbing Johnny right in his back and ruining him.
Stormlands aren't gonna forget, buddy.
It's gonna be great fun. So yeah, come on by, and that's on AP Gaming Reels channel. And other than that, I'm right here.
Sweet. McLogan, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? What are you up to?
Hi, I'm McLogan. Apparently, I just fucking want money. Because, literally tonight was really fun. I'm reading about the Starless Veil, and if they give me high-tech gadgets, I will be happy. You can catch me at twitch.tv/McLogan. I do GTA RP on Twitch RP. I play a investigative detective officer on there. I also play a dog. A cop dog, and I also play Levi on there from time to time. That Levi is a little bit different than this Levi. He doesn't do drugs or have anything. I'm also going to be getting into map drawing on streams. This is what I was inking when Mike was going through his story. Oh, Cherry disappeared. This is what I did. You can't really see it too well, but I was inking this map that I came up with the other day. So I'm going to be what I'm going to do is start from scratch on a stream and then draw out the map. I'm kind of getting used to it because I just got into it, and I'm using calligraphy pens and all that kind of stuff. So all hand-drawn maps on the stream. So hey,
that'd be sweet.
That's it.
Sweet. And last but always least, Johnny, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
Video Store Cowboy everywhere on the internet except on Twitter as VidStore Cowboy. Goddamn 15-letter character thing. Next up, you can probably see me on my channel. I'll be figuring out how to stream WoW Classic this week, and then on Friday I'll be playing on Arvin Aileron's channel for Esper Genesis, our own very really strange space opera sort of thing that uses the D&D 5e system for fun stuff. And then I'll be representing the Stormlands in AP Gaming's House Wars Game of Thrones thing against Sam and everybody else who came to the table thinking that they would start scheming and planning, and of course I decided to play a bronze style character who will not be, who will just be kind of wandering around and being a badass but not really knowing how to play the Game of Thrones. So that's me.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much for being here. I know we had some stream issues with my ISP. I'm figuring it out. Don't worry about it. This weekend, if you're in the Philly region, I will be at Keystone Comic-Con speaking 3 days in a row on different panels about tabletop gaming. So come check me out. Links in my Twitter. And also the 31st of August, which is next Sunday, is our 12-hour charity stream. We have a bunch of games going on, so please check that out. It's going to be announced on Twitter shortly. And let's go rate our friend Behold Roleplay. They are playing some Ravenloft. Go check those guys out. And from all of us to you guys, bye-bye.